How's it going, everyone? It's Matt Deeks here with another video. Appreciate you guys for dropping by. Patch 11, the Reclamation update is finally live, guys. If you have not updated your system or have downloaded the newest version on PC, whatever, guys, whatever system you're on, go do that right now because it is live. All right, guys. In this video, I'm going to be going over everything new in this update, okay? We're going to be going over the new operation, Reclamation, the new boss, the new heroic weapons, the new rewards and battlefield conditions that we'll be seeing in stratagems, the new Chaos Champions, Blood Angels, Salamanders, cosmetics, equipment, Sanctified Wrath, the new equipment. If you don't know, guys, we got a new piece of equipment, bot customization, gameplay and balancing tweaks, general fixes, everything, guys. We're going to go over everything new in patch 11. If that's something you're interested in, guys, sit back, enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, everyone. So let's start off with the new heroic weapons. All right. So if you don't know, you can access the heroics page visiting this guy here. Okay. So you just have to click here, and boom, you're in it. So let's start off with now. If you don't know, there was a Discord quest that if you completed it, you get the Porfire Shield skin. So there was a big thing saying, I don't have access to it because I'm not on PC. However, we now have access to it right now, okay? So you can buy it with 500 credits, okay? So you can, if you want this skin, it's there, it's available, it is 500 credits, okay? But let's go into the actual new heroic weapons and see what their variants have to offer, okay? So let's start off with the new Bolt Sniper heroic called Wrapped, okay? So after performing a headshot, one round is automatically reloaded into the weapon. So this is going to be pretty good just to, because ammo autonomy for the Bolt Sniper is not the greatest, very similar to the last Fusils. So being able to get a automatic reload of a headshot or from a headshot, sorry, is going to be really good just for ammo economy, ammo capacity. It's going to reward higher skilled players, and that's fine. You know, that's what, you know, if you're not familiar and you're not comfortable with the sniper, you might not want to go with the Bolt Sniper. You might want to go with the last Fusil if you're running sniper class. But this is going to really reward high skill players. So again, guys, for the new heroic Bolt Sniper, we have, after performing a headshot, one round is automatically reloaded into the weapon. Okay, guys, so moving forward, we have the Instigator Bolt Carbine. So the heroic version will now fire rounds in higher rate bursts. Okay, and then in terms of our next weapon, we have Retribution's Bequest, not Request. So this is for the heavy bolt pistol, the heroic variant. So shooting an enemy with the elite scream status stops it from calling for reinforcements, headshot kill in one shot. So shooting an enemy with the elite scream status, so when they are calling for an enemy, when they're calling for reinforcements, stops it from calling for reinforcements, and a headshot will kill it with one shot. So that's what the new heroic heavy bolt pistol comes with, all right? So very interesting. I'm going to have to give that a try to see how it actually works in action. And then we have Chains of Duty, so heavy bolter. Now, be honest with you guys, I do not use the heavy bolter too often. When I first started the game, this was one of my main weapons. I loved it, but then as you learn and you try other weapons, I kind of drifted away from it. However, the new heroic version is as follows. Okay, so for the heroic bolter, heavy bolter, we are getting perfect parry window increased by 50% after a gun strike. The weapon is completely cooled. So that's interesting. If you're a heavy, one of the biggest things with this weapon I found was that it would overheat way too fast. So having this after a gun strike, the weapon is completely cooled. With the 50% increase in perfect parry, you can really stack up those, perfect parries, and then thereafter the gun strikes. So it will definitely help with the cooling and the overheating. However, I'm still going to have to see it on the battlefield for me to start using this again versus the multi or the melta. The multi melta for my heavy, but we'll see. We'll give it a try and we will see how that goes. All right, guys, so now we're moving into the new Thunderhammer heroic. It's called Storm's Dominion. So a fully charged attack leaves behind a shock grenade effect. So this is going to be really interesting with the shock bulwark build. If you don't know, there's a bulwark build that also leaves behind shock and area of effect, damage. It's a really cool build. I'll have to make a separate video with that, but stacking this with that bulwark build would be very interesting. It's also going to be great for assault as well, leaving behind some residual damage for enemies to continuously take damage after you get that fully charged attack, right? So I'm actually really pleased with this one. I'm excited to give this one a try. Moving on to the last new heroic weapon, we have Death's Grasp, and this is for the Power Fist. So let's see here, guys. So performing a finisher marks nearby Majoris level or higher enemy for a gun strike. Light attack damage increases by 200%, but charge attack damage decreases by 50%. Interesting. This one's very interesting. So let's go over that one more time. So performing a finisher marks a nearby Majoris level or higher enemy for a gun strike. So I'm just thinking here right off the bat. The Power Fist can be used for both bulwark and assault. They both have a perk that if you perform a non-finisher gun strike, you get armor back. It's called armor reinforcement, okay? The assault has this as well. So let's just quickly go there, right? It's the first core perk, armor reinforcement. Non-finisher gun strike, restore 1 armor segment. Now, being able to, being able to stack, performing a finisher marks a nearby Majoris level or higher enemy for a gun strike. That's going to be fantastic for armor economy for both of these classes. Okay, guys, you're going to be able to farm armor reinforcement time after time, hit after hit. As you can see here, guys, there's no cooldown time. So this actually might be a very interesting heroic weapon to test out, all right? And then for the second part, we have light attack damage increases by 200%, but charge attack damage increases by 50 or decreases by 50%. So 50% is a massive decrease for the charge attack. And honestly, guys, the charge attack for the Power Fist is what makes the Power Fist, okay? So I don't know if that trade-off is worth it. I'm going to have to give it a try on the actual battlefield to see what it's like. But again, I won't give you my full opinion until I've tried every single one of these weapons on the actual battlefield. These were just kind of my straight out of the box opinions looking at the heroic variants for the first time. Okay, so as for this Power Fist, guys, interesting first part. Second part, I'm gonna have to try on the actual battlefield. All right, guys, so that's it for the heroic weapons in patch 11. Let's go a little into some of the new skins that they're coming out with, or that is currently out, and then we'll go over the new operation. Okay, guys, so let's quickly go over some of the new heroic kind of skins we got for our helmets and pauldron pieces. So let's go over it quickly. So we have the Mark 7 helmet right here. We have the new Mark 6 Corvus Veteran helm. This one's really cool. And then we have a couple Black Templar here inspired helmets. We have the Artificer Mark 10 helm. And we have the Black Templars Artificer Mark 10 helm. We have a couple pauldron pieces here, guys. We have the Veteran Molecular Bonding Studs right pauldron. honorific gem right pauldron. We have the chameleon line shroud right pauldron. And we have the veteran shroud right pauldron. Okay, guys, so that's it for the new heroic content with the skins and the new heroic weapons. All right, guys, so let's jump into the operation. Let's go over that a little bit. I won't be playing the operation. I'll put that in another video, so definitely keep an eye out for that video. I'll be making a video on how to beat it with ease, so definitely check that one out in the future. I'll be releasing it sometime today or tomorrow, but let's go over quickly what it is, where it will be taking place, and some of the better classes to go in with. Okay, guys, let's get started. All right, so let's jump into what the new Reclamation operation is all about, and just some quick tips on weapon choices for this operation. So it's called Reclamation, and let's go over a little bit the objective here. So the Dauntless class cruiser Wrath of Espador has been overrun by Tyranid organisms from the nearby High Fleet. Destabilize the ship's reactor to deal a devastating blow to the Xenos. And for the mission objectives, we have advance to the ship's plasma reactor and slay any Tyranids that stand in your way. Now remember, we will be facing a new boss. It's called the Tyranid Prime warrior, and it's a winged behemoth of a beast. Okay, so we also will be facing, I believe they're Minoris level threat enemies. They're like gargoyles, they're flying Tyranids, and so this is where I recommend, bring a ranged weapon with you. This might not be the best time for like an Inferno pistol, maybe a Melta rifle. This might not be the most advantageous operation to run those weapons with. So go in with more long range weaponry, Instigator Bolt, or Bolt Carbine, Heavy Bolter, whatever it is. And for your secondary, go for the Relic, or doesn't have to be Relic, but the Bolt Pistol, Heavy Bolter. This is not the time to go in with like an Inferno pistol, because remember, in addition to the winged enemies, we will be doing a couple objectives that require us to shoot things at ranged distances. Okay, high up, range weaponry that we can't, or ranged enemies that we can't get to. So we're going to have to shoot them. And if you're running an Inferno pistol, or a Melta or a Melta rifle, we will not be able to hit them. So just remember, go in with a secondary weapon. If you really love the Melta or the Melta rifle, just go in with a secondary that you're able to get those high shots off with, okay? And if you're running a sniper, let's say a sniper with a Last Fusel main, don't go in with an Inferno pistol. The Last Fusel already suffers from lower ammo capacity. So I would recommend go in with a bolt pistol, heavy bolt pistol, just because you don't want to be wasting those Last Fusel shots, those very, very valuable Last Fusel shots on like objectives, and the Minoris, the lower level enemies, the flying enemies. So again, guys, just keep that in mind while running Reclamation. Lastly, I want to go over a bit of the new bot customization. So I'm going to kind of show you how this works, okay? So for example, let's say I'm going in with a Vanguard, okay? And again, the two other bots that spawn in will be completely random. So I'm going to set my other classes how I usually run them and how I want my bots to run them. So I got my Last Fusel main on the sniper. I have the Bulwark as the power sword. I have the heavy as the Melta. Assault as, I'm going to change that up and put it Thunderhammer, and then I'm going to have the tactical as the Melta rifle and chainsword. Okay, so I'm going to load into the game and I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, guys. Here, guys, we have my Blood Ravens with me. They are not just regular Ultramarines, even though that was fine, but I usually run Blood Ravens. So as you can see here, guys, you have both the skin customization. So the skins that you have in the armoring hall is what your bots are going to come with. Also, they come with the weapons that you assign to them. So Last Fusel and the Melta, and then obviously you have what you chose as well. So this is really cool, guys. Again, the bots that you The bots that come will be random in that sense. Like you can't choose, oh, I want a tactical and a bulwark. They will still be random, but at least you can customize both the skin and the weaponry. And it even goes down to the secondary weapon as well. As you can see here, I have the plasma pistol. So there you go, guys. Bot customization. That's going to be fantastic. There are a few gameplay and balancing tweaks that I want to go over. They just released the patch notes for patch 11, and I want to go over everything here with you guys. Okay, so let's start off with assault. So with assault, there's a new feature. So added a set of jump pack dash attacks for assault. I'm reading right now with you guys for the first time. So for the assault, they added a set of jump pack dash attacks for assault that are much quicker and responsive than normal sprint attacks. Dash attacks should be affected by all perks that affect sprint attacks as well. So this is a change from the public test server. So jump dash attacks deal 50% more damage. And they go on to say, we are going to continue expanding and improving sandbox gameplay for all classes. After assault, it's going to be tacticals and vanguard's turn. However, those changes will not be in patch 12 as we would like to focus on the tech marine. Well, that's a drop. That's amazing. As for the melee, we have some changes to the power axe. Okay, guys, so let's jump into the power axe a bit here, and let's look exactly what is going on. So chain swirl slash can now be performed after overhead strike. We have overhead strike damage is increased by 50%. Wow. The perk riposte became a default behavior. So after performing a power backstep, hold attack to perform an overhead strike. That's pretty cool. I like that. Perk riposte, I'm going to say riposte. I don't know if that's right or wrong. Riposte is changed. So overhead strike damage after backstep is doubled. And then we have blocking version can now enter power stance. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good because I know the blocking one did not have that ability. And then we have the heroic double-edged relic. And let's go to the chainsword, guys. Boom, the heroic double-edged relic. This one right here. What do we have new? So trampling stride perk now works with a heroic perk combo. Interesting. Okay, and then we have double heavy combo now can be performed after a whirl slash sprint attack. Interesting. So a couple new changes there for the heroic double edge relic. Again, this is only for the heroic version. Okay. Now we have the heroic power gladius, so the power knife. Okay, guys, let's go into this one. Again, this is only for the heroic one. Okay, so damage buff now lasts for 1 second after the first instance of damage instead of being wasted on a single enemy. So this is changed from the public test server. Fixed issue where damage buff lasted indefinitely. Wow, okay, interesting. All right, so now we have firearms, so heavy bolt rifles. Let's go into that a bit. Let's go into assault here. Let's just pop it up. Okay, heavy bolt rifle. So base damage increased by 13%. All right, so there you go. Heavy bolt rifle. We have a damage increase of 13%, base damage increase. Heroic Combi Melta. I won't go into every gun here, but the Heroic Combi Melta, so the bolt rifle, increased damage by 15% for both bolter and Melta firing modes. Interesting. And then we have the multi-Melta, guys. We have the multi-Melta, one of my favorite guns in the game. Let's see what they have in store for this one. The change allowing the player to shoot from the standing. Sorry, this is the Melta rifle. My apologies. Let's go to my boy Heavy here. My apologies, Heavy. Okay, multi-Melta. My apologies, guys. The change allowing the player to shoot from the standing position immediately after firing from the blind position, removing the previous delay, has been reverted. The interval between shots is now enforced when transitioning to the standing position. Damn. I exploited that like hell. All right, that's all right. Then we have the bolt pistol base damage increase by 13.5%, and the Volkite pistol damage base damage and Volkite explosion damage increased by 10%. Interesting. Okay. We have a few more things here, guys. Let's go over everything here. So we have patch 11 heroic weapon changes from PTS. So heroic heavy bolt pistol. Whoops. Okay, let's see here. Heroic bolt pistol. This one right here. I did not unlock it. Oh, I did. I did unlock it. Heroic heavy bolt pistol. So increase gun strike damage by 20%. They add 6 ammo to max capacity. And then the heroic perk will now instantly kill enemies that are calling for reinforcements. Interesting. Heroic sniper bolt rifle. So all ammo restored perks will not trigger when using this weapon. While it was clear that it was a very powerful weapon in the public test server, we do not want to reduce its effectiveness, but we do want to raise its skill cap. And then we have the heroic thunder hammer. We saw this already earlier in the video, guys, but I gave this a go in the new Reclamation operation, and guys, I love it. I actually really love it. But heroic thunderhammer assaults ground pound will also spawn a shock zone. Yeah, we know all about this. Then we have the heroic power fist. Let's go into that a little bit here. We have the heroic power fist right here. I have not yet upgraded my power fist fully, guys. I know. Don't wreck me in the comments, but I will get there. Heroic power fist, so damage bonus for light attacks is increased 200%. We know this. Increased radius for heroic perk activation to 15 meters. Issue fixed, so sometimes perk didn't activate properly. Works like a fencing weapon as originally intended. And then for the heroic heavy bolter, fixed UI display of accuracy value. Very interesting, guys. So there's also some different perk changes. So let's go over a little bit here. So for the tactical, we have Signal Jammer. Okay, so the perk has been reworked. Old, enemies marked by Auspex scan cannot call for reinforcements and automatically explode upon attempting to do so. New, after marking an enemy with Auspex scan, other enemies cannot call for reinforcement and automatically explode upon attempting to do so for 90 seconds. Okay. And then we have some changes for the sniper. So let's go over that a little bit. So precision targeting. Now perk works against extremist and terminus level enemies. We have Guardian Protocol, so removed cooldown. And we have Ambush. Now can also slows down nearby enemies for 10 seconds. And then for the Bulwark, we have Emergency Countermeasure. So cooldown is decreased from 90 seconds to 45. Okay. As for Vanguard, we got a couple changes here, guys. Vanguard is my main, so I'm very interested to see what they did to my boy here. So for too long, Vanguard's role was to be a vessel for the squad's healing perks. I'm reading here, so this is not me saying this, I'm reading here. With these changes, we want to reinforce ranged melee hybrid playstyles for him, but we are not entirely done with Vanguard's changes. We would like to take a closer look at his ability. Damn, just leave my boy alone, man. Okay, so let's see here. Grapnel launcher. Damage now scales based on difficulty. Okay, I'm happy about that. Retribution perk has been reworked. So old, after you are grabbed or knocked back, you deal 30% more melee damage for 20 seconds. And new, when your ranged weapons magazine is empty, melee damage increased by 25%. Interesting. Then we have moving target. The perk has been reworked. So old, each melee attack you land reduces the range damage you take by 5% up to 30%. If you do not land a melee attack for 5 seconds, the effect ends. Yeah, this is one of the perks I use at least. New, killing an enemy at a range of 30 meters or more restores ability charge by 5%. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, holy smokes. Guys, this just made the Vanguard the de facto best class in the game, in my opinion, guys. Okay, in my opinion. Now remember, I use the melter rifle. So basically all my shots are within, give or take, wait a second. Damn it to hell. I thought it was within 30 meters. My apologies, guys. It is at a distance of more than 30 meters. Restores ability charge by 5%. My apologies, guys. I got way too excited there, way too fast. I thought it was within. I was about to just have a party because basically with the Melta rifle, every shot is within 30 meters. So I was like, damn, I could really fire my grapnel launcher, but it is outside of 30 meters, so more than 30 meters, okay? So that just negates, my whole Melta rifle being good for this new perk change. So regardless, I still think the Melta rifle is a fantastic, fantastic gun. But again, that first one might have to be changed to this one right here, melee mastery. So melee damage increased by 10% against Majoris level and higher. Just because this one here, guys, honestly, if you're a Melta rifle main, this is really not going to benefit you too much. Yes, you have the bolt pistol, but honestly, this is a close range weapon, so I would not waste this first perk on it. Not happy with that change, but what can you do? I like the scalability factor for the grapnel, so I'm happy about that. Let's go over a few more things. So a couple things have been reworked as well. So we did moving target. Now we have tenacity. So the perk has been reworked. Old, after killing 10 enemies within 5 seconds, diving kicks damage increased by 40% for 15 seconds. New, after a ranged kill, Majoris level or higher enemy, okay, diving kicks damage increased by 130%. Wow. Cooldown is 15 seconds. So after a ranged kill, Majoris level or higher enemy, diving kicks damage. Wow, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Collateral damage, increased damage by diving kick to 50%, and inner fire now works according to description. Okay, so couple of good things, one bad thing, one that rework of moving target. Not a fan of, but it is what it is. And then we have Assault, guys. Active attrition. The perk has been reworked. Old enemies hit by melee attacks take 15% more damage for 3 seconds. New, enemies hit by damage from melee attacks executed while sprinting or dash melee attacks take 25% more damage for 5 seconds. Interesting. And then, guys, we have some new battlefield conditions for stratagems. So let's just go to the stratagem page here. So for stratagems, guys, we have great responsibility. It has increased HP bonus from 100% to 150%. Then we have retirement barge, yeah. Reduced HP debuff from 66% to 50%. And then we have poorly fit suit, reduced damage by 33%. Equipment malfunction, restricted from appearing on the exfiltration mission. Surgical strike, buff damage by 15%. And extreme challenge, increase and extremist enemies spawn cooldown. So those are some of the changes we got to some of the already battlefield conditions, along with the new battlefield conditions we are getting.
Fulfilling their duty to the end.
All right, and now, guys, I want to go over a bit of the what the new PvE equipment called Sanctified Wrath is all about. So I'm going to read it from the patch notes. I'm going to show you in the gameplay right here, guys. You can see how it actually works. So upon use, the player's melee damage is increased by 25% for 15 seconds, and the player is immune to knockbacks. So when used, enemies within a small radius are pushed back. Okay. And they also make a note that it's not the last equipment that we are going to add. So there's going to be new equipment coming out. So you can see here, guys, I haven't used it yet, but when I do, you're going to see like a red aura just quickly burst out. And in that time frame for 15 seconds, I'm going to have 25% increased melee damage, so with my Thunder Hammer. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys, when you are watching the gameplay in front of you.
Accurate symbol. I am the righteous storm descender. pack refueling.
Yeah, guys, I'll leave the patch notes for patch 11 down below. You can click the link, just check it out. You can read the full thing because there's a bunch of small general fixes and kind of tech fixes that they go into. And if you're interested in that, you can read it. But I got most of the main stuff, guys. But with that being said, I'm not going to show the entire operation. I'm going to put a separate video, a how to beat video on the new Operation Reclamation. So keep an eye out for that. But guys, I will put the boss fight right after this. If you want to check out the boss fight with the Tyranid Prime, the 2 Tyranid Primes, you can check that out. If not, guys, thank you so much for watching and enjoy patch 11.
That reactor must be destroyed. Honor our brothers. Honor our chapter. Here it comes. The beast dies at us. Xenos using the ship power against us. Jump pack refuel. The Imperium's hammer rises to strike. Brace for Xenos impact. Defenses up, brothers. I am airborne ready. One down, one to go. Perhaps one prime is twice as vicious as two. Born again, the crucible of battle. Avenging angel. Restore my armor. For the Emperor! They sully this ship no more. Now, engage the console to cripple the reactor. And Talassa, when those magnetic stabilizers stop, prepare for rapid egress. Be advised. The gyroscopic containment shielding prevents catastrophic plasma dispersal. Plasma cores are now exposed. Caution advised. Reactor critical, Talassa. Disengage. Fate's hourglass runs empty. Talassa, we're tracking your signatures. Octavio and Heraton Leader are already on board. Our brothers prevailed. Follow the designated evacuation routes immediately. Be as an angel of death. Ace, pilot. Race for turbulence. If not for your valor, Talassa, this operation would have ended in a major loss for the Imperium. The loss of our brothers weighs heavily on us, Captain. This hard-fought victory cost us dearly indeed. The wrath of Espandor's retribution shall rip into the Tyranid fleet with searing, bitter fury. Our honored dead take solace that they have been avenged.